Have you ever wanted to road trip the Trans-Canada Highway? Well, get ready, because we're driving a huge section of the highway and we're taking you with us as we hit up some of the best sights along the way. In our last video, we took you to amazing places along the north shore of Lake Superior, then to beautiful Winnipeg, and then all the way to Weyburn, Saskatchewan. Now we're pushing westward to one of the coolest towns in Canada. Onward to probably one of the most interesting towns on the Trans-Canada Highway. This is Moose Jaw. Awesome name, right? Moose Jaw has a really interesting history, documented all across town through a vibrant public art scene. Walking through downtown Moose Jaw is like walking through an art gallery and a museum at the same time. The town was founded in the late 1800s when the Canadian Pacific Railway chose it as a divisional point for the railway system. When a town is a stop along a railway route, it will definitely lead to some activity. But when a town is a divisional point, meaning a place where two or more lines intersect, well, that means freight yards and repair shops and all the logistics of a major hub. Moose Jaw boomed. Chinese immigrants were the force and backbone behind the construction of the Canadian Pacific Railroad, and in Moose Jaw, a thriving community ran many local businesses. Growing xenophobia culminated in the Chinese Immigration Act of 1923, forcing many of these businesses literally underground into a series of tunnels underneath Moose Jaw. But wait, it gets crazier. Remember that Moose Jaw is a hub in the Canadian Pacific Railway system? Well, one of the lines that branches off Moose Jaw is the Soo Line, which is a direct link to Minneapolis and Chicago. Now imagine, it's the 1920s and Prohibition is in full force. The tunnels of Moose Jaw became a hotbed hub for bootlegging operations, smuggling rum from Moose Jaw down the Soo Line and straight to the speakeasies of Chicago. So important was Moose Jaw in this whole operation that it earned the nickname Little Chicago and was known to receive visits from the boss man himself, Al Capone. So here we are in downtown. I love downtowns like this.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
All these little businesses.
Another beautiful mural over there. Seems like the city has a lot of underground tunnels where a lot of shady things happened.
Hey babe, I just realized something. We are leading everyone basically on a mural tour of the Americas.
Yep, that's true.
This one is called Bobby's Place. Whoop, I found another one.
This one looks like it's painted on the wall, not a panel.
Yeah, it's on the wall.
Guess what?
What?
It is actually a panel.
Wow.
But
if you've never gone on a mural exploration day in a new city, definitely try this out. It's fun. You just start walking and then you start seeing them and you go down alleyways and all of a sudden murals are just everywhere if you're in a really cool city. But Canada seems to be on their mural game. That wall needs one.
oh yeah.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine?
Beautiful.
I'm sensing a theme here in Moose Jaw. A theme of like nostalgia for the past.
Mm-hmm.
Are you catching that flavor too?
Yep. The colors are beautiful. Like how it goes from the blues to the yellows and oranges.
So that was a nice impromptu, unexpected sojourn.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to do that from time to time, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
And now we're back home. We've been so fascinated with Moose Jaw that we got out late, so we've got to find a place to park the night. Once again, iOverlander does not let us down, and we find this amazing spot. Reed Lake, right outside of Morse, Saskatchewan. What a beautifully eerie place to call home for the night. If you're curious about what I said before about iOverlander, well, people are usually super curious how we always find such amazing parking spots, like this one. Our secret awesome powers of intuition. No, not really. We use iOverlander, which is a free app chock full of tons of places to park. It's never let us down. We're heading west to Medicine Hat, which will be the first city we visit in Alberta. But first, we have to cross southwestern Saskatchewan. The landscape is beginning to shift from farms and cropland to wide open grasslands. This region has an abundance of agriculture, but from here on the highway, you can see the land in its more undeveloped version. Big sky country, gently rolling prairies covered in grasses stretching as far as the eye can see. Ranches start to become more and more prominent, and before we know it, we're entering Alberta.
We are going to a town called Medicine Hat. As we slowly approach the Rockies, we start seeing more rolling hills. So we're gonna meet with a guy over there who's gonna do a video tour of Goring. And we're gonna meet with him tonight, and tomorrow we're gonna film the video tour and we're gonna hang out for a little bit.
We're meeting Jackson Peters, who works with the FLORB YouTube channel. Pretty awesome channel if you haven't checked it out. We found a great rendezvous point, a park just outside Medicine Hat where we can meet up, sleep, and film tomorrow.
This is pretty cool. We are almost at the park where we're gonna spend the night. It's beautiful, this is cliffs.
The landscape of southeastern Alberta is very beautiful and almost has a deep mystic energy to it. It feels like you could spend years here and still find new things to learn about the landscape, its people, and its history.
Hey, morning. You guys sleep okay?
Oh yeah. How about you?
Yes, it's all right. That's amazing. You have plants alive in here. That's incredible.
Well, those are the survivors. Okay, more coffee.
Oh. Yeah.
Chorizos for brunch.
Wow. Wow. This is incredible.
Connecting and making friends like this is by far the most important and fulfilling part of travel. Technically, the whole bus is a studio, but in this room, we really kind of pulled out all the stops. Ladies, I think in the process of writing a song. Our planet is a smaller place than we think, and there's so much more that brings us together than tears us apart. We're so grateful we had this chance to connect. We know our paths will cross again sometime and somewhere in the future.
Nice. Beautiful.
We spent a couple of days with our new friend Jackson Peters, and he's a really cool dude. We got to do a little bit of jamming yesterday, and he lives in a band, so I'm gonna go and show you guys his setup.
Hello, hello.
Hey.
Getting ready for the road?
I am off to Winnipeg tonight.
Awesome. So this is home, huh?
This is home. Home for the
Alright.
last 3 years or so.
This is awesome. Yeah, and this is a nice setup, and just for you.
Yeah, no, for one person, it's totally manageable. I'm very comfortable in here. I'm very happy in this thing. It's enabled me to do a lot of cool stuff and meet tons of great people. I have a stool here, which
Oh,
fold
nice.
that. I can work here if I want. If it's not too hot or not too cold, that's always my biggest battle. Is usually the temperature's not ideal for working in here. Got the sink here, really simple system. I just have a little fuel pump primer bulb here, where if you step on that,
Oh, nice.
you have running water, hands-free.
Awesome.
Got a little Dometic fridge. No freezer built into it, but it does have a compressor in it. Keeps things very cold.
You got your knives and utensils.
Got all my knives,
here.
utensils here. This is my little stove. It's just a little backpacker stove. I have this little adapter, which adapts the butane to propane.
Wow.
Propane goes into this hose, which runs into a little tank in there. I bought the van in, I think, September of 2018. It sat at my parents over the winter while I was finishing my film degree. And then when I graduated school in spring of 2019, I came home, did the conversion, and I've been living in it ever since.
That's great. And what's the year?
This is in 1975, so it's almost 50 years old.
And still running strong.
Still running strong. The Chevy 350s, it's when you get a good engine, they last forever.
This is the bed right here.
Yeah. Everyone asks if it's
Really?
Claustrophobic. I like to say it's cozy.
It's cozy, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It looks cozy. I could definitely sleep there.
Let's take a look under the hood.
Is this a 6-cylinder or 8-cylinder?
This is an 8-cylinder. She's a V8, so
So that explains
that explains the fuel economy.
fuel economy. Yeah, I mean for like a 1976 van, the body of it is
Fairly rust-free. I camp in this in Canada in the winter, and I have no problem keeping this thing warm.
You got extra storage here. I love the how compact it is. You can park this anywhere.
Yeah.
No issues.
So this is the water inlet. So I can open that up, and you can just either put a hose in there, or you can get jugs of water and dump them in there. This is the vent for my gray water system. I have a breather on there, so that way no smells end up inside there. It comes out the side.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for showing us the van.
My pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Until next time. And safe travels, guys. Enjoy Drumheller, enjoy Banff.
Oh yeah,
You're in for such a treat.
Off he goes. And now off we go to Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat is the 6th largest city in Alberta with a population of around 65,000 people. When you reach Medicine Hat, the first thing you'll see is the world's largest teepee, the SAAMIS teepee. Guess where we are? This is the world's tallest teepee. This colossal structure rises as high as a 20-story building and holds inside storyboards educating visitors on the region's history and culture. This region was once a gathering area for members of the Blackfoot Confederacy. Tribal members of the Confederacy relied greatly on buffalo herds, which often passed through this area because of the cottonwood trees that grow here along the banks of the South Saskatchewan River. A new people arose across the plains in the 18th and 19th century, the Métis, which means mixed in French. European fur traders married indigenous women in a mutually benefiting system. The traders gained access to the women's knowledge of fur trapping and dressing, as well as survival in a new land. Women and their families gained greater access to trade goods. The children of these marriages came to be known as Métis, and they worked for fur trade companies as guides, interpreters, tradesmen, and officers. Medicine Hat is another really interesting town to stop in. Once again, the public art scene is blowing our minds.
It seems like all kinds of art is welcome in this town and appreciated, which is really cool. You know, you see graffiti, you see pure abstraction art like this one, and then you see other pieces that are like really beautifully executed in a very realistic style. So it's really cool.
Medicine Hat's vibrant mural scene is thanks to the Medicine Art Mural Fest, which was started in 2018 by local artist Jeff Goring, tag Sans1. The festival has grown and grown, literally painting the town. This Mural Fest is still relatively new, and it's already made such a difference. It's amazing what some initiative and an army of artists can do. In addition to its mural scene, Medicine Hat has just a really cool, relaxed, and community-centered feeling to it. Lots of parks and green spaces, a river running right through town. The city even has some unusual downtown residents.
We got a working beaver.
Leaving Medicine Hat, Calgary is only about 180 miles away. But we're taking a slight detour to see a place that is making the amateur geologist among us super excited. Now, as you leave the Trans-Canada Highway and get on the 2-lane back roads of southeastern Alberta, you really start to see the agricultural footprint of this region. Fields of wheat and barley and canola stretch as far as the eye can see. Farms dot the landscape, little islands in a sea of cropland. Alberta holds the 3rd largest reserves of crude oil in all of Canada. After oil comes agriculture and ranching. Like Saskatchewan, Alberta is a big producer of wheat, barley, canola, and oats, among others. Agriculture is a multi-billion-dollar chunk of Alberta's economy. I think it's really fun and interesting to ponder what the land looks like below the surface of this never-ending sea of crops. If we could take a huge knife and cut into this landscape like a cake, what would all the layers look like below? Well, lucky for us, we're about to get a really good look at exactly just that. Welcome to the Alberta Badlands. This region holds a lot to be excited about, hence the detour to come here. First and foremost, the land is just visually spectacular. Nature puts on a show with a stunning display of sedimentary layers, rich in a bouquet of colors. The thing that really puts this place on the map, though, is what can be found in those layers. The Alberta Badlands are known worldwide for holding an absolute treasure trove of dinosaur fossils. Over 50 new dinosaur species were identified here. Over 150 complete skeletons have been found here, along with numerous bone beds, which are concentrations of unconsolidated bones holding fossils of numerous species. This is Drumheller, the area's most prominent town nestled right in the heart of the Badlands and aptly named the dinosaur capital of the world.
We are in Drumheller, Alberta. I was getting ready with my camera gear to go out and explore the area when Cora said it will make more sense to go and check out the museum so that when we go out and check the area, we actually know what we're looking at. We are on the way to the museum right now.
Are you excited to learn about the geology of this place?
I am very much so. The Royal Tyrrell Museum is famous in the world of paleontology. Nestled right within the landscape that has yielded so much discovery, the museum holds a collection of over 160,000 cataloged fossils, Canada's largest collection by far. To put that into perspective, viewers at the museum only see about 800 of these fossils. And man, are they astoundingly impressive.
We're going to walk through geologic time. Precambrian is what interests me the most. Because it's like the most mysterious.
This museum was originally intended to just be a scientific facility. Then the plans were changed to include a public gallery where some of the fossils could be displayed. That gives you a sense of how vast their archive of fossils really is. The Tyrrell Museum was named after geologist Joseph Burr Tyrrell, who in August of 1884 found a massive skull near present-day Drumheller. It appeared to be the skull of a carnivorous dinosaur. Any guesses what it was eventually named? Come on, dinosaur nerds. I know you got this one. Have you ever heard of Albertosaurus? I'll say it again. Albertosaurus? That's right. Albertosaurus called Alberta home 70 million years ago.
So what are we looking at here?
Now this was like seeing a rock star. For me at least, a geology nerd. This is a sample of an iridium-rich layer of sediment found across the world. It was deposited 65 million years ago, and below it you find dinosaur fossils, above it you don't. Iridium is rare on Earth, but known to be quite concentrated in meteorites. So if you can piece all those clues together, this little layer, ladies and gents, is some of the most compelling evidence we have that the dinosaurs were killed off 65 million years ago from a meteor strike.
Bye-bye dinosaurs. And so we enter the age of mammals.
The Royal Tyrrell Museum is Canada's only museum dedicated exclusively to the study of ancient life. In addition to their job of cataloging and safeguarding their monumental collection of fossils, they do a great deal of public education work as well, helping ignite the curiosity of the next generation of paleontologists.
The museum was fascinating. Beautiful museum, tons of amazing information. Now we're gonna go check out this lookout point.
"75 million years ago, this was a subtropical coastal plain. A vast inland sea rose and fell to the east. Lush forest covered this coastal plain, and rivers stretched across the landscape, flowing eastward towards the inland sea. These rivers deposited layer upon layer of mud and sand, forming an absolutely beautiful series of sedimentary strata. Dinosaurs roamed this landscape, which held the perfect conditions for fossilizing their bones." Fast forward to about 13,000 years ago. The last ice age is ending, and as all that ice melts, the gushing rivers begin to carve into this landscape, revealing all those beautiful layers and the fossil treasures they hold. To this day, a centimeter of sediment is removed every year from the Alberta Badlands, revealing more fossils as time goes on.
What you looking for?
Fizzing.
And what does the fizzing mean?
It would mean that this would be like a calcium carbonate-based body part of a marine organism. Zero fizzage. I'm sure that's a very geologic term. Fizzage. I'll have to try and figure that one out in a different way.
Drumheller has built its identity around the region's wealth of fossils, so naturally they had to build the world's largest dinosaur statue, nicknamed Tyra. Tyra is 86 feet tall and 101 feet long, which is 4.5 times larger than a real T-Rex, by the way.
All right, let's go check it out.
Inside is a 106-step stairwell leading to a viewing deck inside of her mouth. 12 people can safely fit up there, though that would be a little bit crowded.
Look at the view. We're inside the mouth of a T-Rex.
Tyra offers a great bird's eye, or I guess in this case, T-Rex's eye, view of Drumheller. We end our time in Drumheller with a visit to the HOODOOS. These awesome little dudes are formed when you have a harder rock on top of softer rock. Wind, rain, and ice slowly erode away the softer rock, and eventually this leads to the formation of a pillar, or hoodoo.
So a coal seam would form where a lot of organic material is getting kind of buried real fast.
This is the first time that I get to a bed of coal like this. It smells like resin.
This coal seam actually speaks to a much deeper history here. Remember all that talk about the Canadian Pacific Railway spreading across Canada, leading to boom towns like Moose Jaw? Well, those locomotives needed fuel, and a lot of that came from right here. This region is so rich in coal that 130 coal mines thrived here in the Drumheller Valley between 1911 and 1979. We bid farewell to Drumheller and set our sights on the last stop of our Trans-Canada Highway road trip, Calgary. Calgary is positioned like a gateway to the Canadian Rockies. Just like Denver in the United States, it sits just to the east of the awesome moment when the Rockies thrust up out of the plains. It makes for an exciting drive west because as you drive across the flat plains, eventually you reach a critical moment when the mountains ahead become visible. Unfortunately for us, we're traveling on kind of a dreary day, and we can barely see those mountains in the distance. Ah well, what can you do? Before we know it, we start to see the signs of a big urban center ahead. And after so much nature time, it's great to feel that zing and excitement of city life. We're excited to go explore and catch the flavor of Calgary.
We are in Calgary.
Calgary is the 4th largest city in Canada and home to 1.4 million people. It is known as a young, vibrantly diverse, and community-minded city.
So we're at a public pool here, and if there was ever a sound that's the sound of summer, I think it's kids shouting and laughter and hearing the splash of water.
Train is arriving. Please stay.
If you're wondering what I'm up to, I'm recording sounds of the city. I've been recording soundscapes throughout the Art with Harriet journey, which find their way into our experimental films and sometimes even into my songs.
I put the mic sensitivity pretty low because I'm expecting, like a New York City semi train to come screeching and clacking down the track. And this one arrives and it's like, it's like a spaceship coming into port. Canada's up with the times, like in China.
So I was reading that this bridge was a little controversial, but like most popular structures in any city, that's how it starts. So now the bridge has become a very important landmark in the city.
I wonder why this is called the Peace Bridge. I'm a little curious to know the backstory.
So here's the backstory. The bridge was designed by one of our favorite architects, Spanish architect Santiago Calatrava. We've actually visited other structures by him in Valencia, Spain, New York City, and Milwaukee, Wisconsin, of all places. What a surprise to get to the other side of the bridge and find out here we were at another Calatrava. It was named the Peace Bridge as a tribute to the military. Downtown Calgary is sleek, super clean, and surprisingly quiet.
The city's very quiet. It's like their trains. I was expecting, and it's like,
It's almost like all the cars are electric.
yeah.
To those of us used to the honks and road noise and train noise of major cities, we find Calgary strangely silent given the amount of activity you actually do see everywhere. The median age in Calgary is 37 years old. Nearly a quarter of the population is foreign-born, meaning the city is alive with thriving communities with influences from around the world. And of course, the mural scene in Calgary is thriving. How could it not be? There are some impressive projects here that make our heads swirl with ideas and inspiration. The beauty of murals, and all public art really, is that it is art that is there for all, accessible to everyone. It's not confined within the walls of a museum, or a gallery, or a private residence. There are no barriers to experiencing and benefiting from public art. And that's what makes it so powerful.
And this is the High Park.
This is a really creative idea. It's awesome. The whole entire top level of a parking garage turned into a park. You're not just in the middle of the city, you're like up high with the buildings.
And they have beautiful art all around.
Yeah.
We've been walking around this very hot day for over 2 hours now, so we are hungry and we are thirsty. Yeah, nice table.
Yeah.
We just got our food.
When in Canada, put cheese and gravy on your French fries.
And that is called what?
Poutine. Get it.
It didn't take long for us to catch that flavor of Calgary. Calgary is a vibrant and active city. You get the sense that many here love their nature time just as much as their city time. As we cross the Bow River once more, this seems to be hammered home as we see kayakers and boaters floating the river that is right there, part of their urban space. It's no wonder that Calgary attracts so many people from around the world. With the setting sun, we bid farewell to Calgary and our road trip on the Trans-Canada Highway comes to a close. Man, what a trip it has been. We just blazed across Canada in a 3-week road trip that is one for the books. The Trans-Canada Highway has blown us away. The towns, cities, and natural landmarks that stretch along the highway are like gems placed along a string of pearls. And we know we just scratched the surface. When you road trip the Trans-Canada Highway, you have to tell us what wonders you discovered along the way. What's next for us? As night falls, we are headed straight towards Banff National Park. We'll arrive in the dark, so we don't quite know what to expect. Little do we know, Banff National Park and Jasper National Park are about to dismantle everything we thought we knew about natural beauty in North America. No exaggeration. It is about to blow our minds. And we know it'll blow your mind too. You'll just have to wait until next time on Aren't We There Yet? Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a like.
Subscribe to our channel.
Send us a comment below. And for exclusive content and a behind the scenes view of the Aren't We There Yet journey,
Join us on Patreon.
see you over on Patreon.